Well, good evening, everyone, and hello, Washington. We thank you for participating in our telerally this evening with our special guests, President Donald J. Trump and our candidate for Congress, Joe Kent. My name is Sherry, and I'll be your moderator for our event today. And at the conclusion of President Trump's remarks, we will be asking you two special poll questions, so stay on the line with us, and you'll have an opportunity to participate too. It is now my great pleasure to introduce to you, in Washington's 3rd District, our candidate for Congress, Joe Kent.
Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining us from all over the country, but especially if you're here in Washington's 3rd District. We are 1 week away from taking back our district and then taking back our country. It's absolutely essential that we take back this seat. So this is one of the top seats for us to flip. President Trump has won this district twice. We have a radical Democrat that's there right now in Congress voting with AOC, Nancy Pelosi, and the rest of them every single day. So we need to flip this seat so that we can actually pursue President Trump's agenda and give him the support that he needs, securing our border, getting inflation under control, getting us out of these needless and endless wars. So a little bit about myself. For folks who don't know, I served our nation for a little over 20 years as a Green Beret. I lost my late wife. She was killed fighting ISIS in Syria a month after Trump tried to get our troops out the first time. And that's actually when I met President Trump, when he came to Dover to console all the families of the fallen. So that's actually one of the worst days of my life was when I met our president, President Trump, who's always fought for our country, for our troops, for our veterans. And so I'm just so honored to be here in this fight with him, in this quest to take our country back. So without further ado, it's my great honor to introduce all of you here in Washington 3 and throughout the country to President Donald Trump.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. And hello, Washington. Great place. I have so many friends that live there. And I just want to tell you that Joe Kent is a special person, or I wouldn't be doing this late in the evening where I am on the East Coast. And because we just did 3 rallies today, big ones. We're leading in all 7 swing states, and we're doing good. And we now have to put it away, and hopefully on November 5th that will happen. We want to bring Joe in with us. So we have 7 days away. Think of this, 7 days away from the most important in the history of our country. And early voting is underway now. You have a ballot, return it immediately, and just go vote. It's very easy. You could just go vote. You're all open, and vote for just a special person. You know, I first met Joe at Dover Air Force Base. It was a very it was a moment where his beloved wife, a fallen warrior, was being brought back home from the Middle East. Terrible situation. It was incredible. It was a terrible thing to witness and watch, where she had laid down her life in defense of our nation. I was really impressed, incredibly impressed with Joe. I got to know him a little bit, waiting for that big plane with coffins, and I was amazed. He was strong, devastated, but so strong. He's a real fighter, a real hero. And I told him, you know what? You should run for office someday. A good-looking guy, handsome as you can be. And I said, you got to run for office someday. You're the kind of guy that we need. And as you know, he's a retired Green Beret. He's a Gold Star husband and a proud America First conservative warrior. He supports strong borders, low crime, and fair trade. As your congressman, he's going to work to end inflation with me. He will work, and we'll get that inflation knocked out. We're going to get prices brought way down. We're going to get your energy brought down to the lowest levels. You know, we were energy independent just 4 years ago, and now take a look at this country. We're just missing at every stop. But he's going to do something else. He's going to help me with stopping the terrible migrant crime that is pouring into our neighborhoods, frankly. Every state is a border state, and we're doing it. And, you know, we have criminals coming in, murderers coming in. We have everybody coming in, drug dealers. We have it's not even believable that they open their jails from all over the world. Jails are being emptied out, not just from South America, from the Congo in Africa, from many places in Africa, from Europe, from South America. They're coming in from everywhere, including the Middle East. Some rough ones are coming in from the Middle East. We had 13,099 murderers for the last 3 years released into our country, and we're going to get them out. We're going to deport them out. We have no choice. We have to do it, or we're not going to have a country at all. But Joe will be by my side. That I can tell you. He's running against a radical left Congresswoman, Marie Glassenkamp-Perez, who's a total radical left person. She'll go whatever Joe Biden or Kamala wants. She votes 100% with them. She wants open borders. She wants all of the things that we don't want. And actually, it's enough on her. But she's a basic disaster, and she has to feed it. And there's nobody better that I could think of than Joe Kent to do the job. Quite simply, we are going to seal the border, stop the invasion, and begin the largest deportation of criminals in the history of our country. Dwight Eisenhower, a rather moderate president, a former general, he has the record. He did not like people coming into our country, but it's not a record I particularly want. I have no choice. It's not sustainable. We have to get the criminals out of our country with a country left. We're going to end inflation, make America affordable again. We're going to make America the dominant producer in the world. Again, energy independent 4 years ago. Now look at us. We're going to have large tax cuts for our workers and no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors. And I will always protect Medicare and Social Security, and Joe will be at my side. We're going to restore SALT deduction, cancel the electrical vehicle mandate. The vehicle mandate is a disaster, and we're going to cut regulations. I cut regulations as president more than any other president times 5. We're going to prevent War III from happening. We are at the closest we've ever been to World War III, and we're going to restore peace. We're going to crush violent crime and support our great police, cut federal funding for any school, pushing critical race theory and gender. I mean, look at what's happening. It's all you read about. We're going to cut for critical race theory and radical gender ideology. It's gone. And we're going to keep men out of women's sports. So we can do all of these things and much more, but for all of that to happen, you have to get out, you have to vote. And so if you were Donald Trump and Joe Kent, you will look back in later years and you're going to say, I'm very proud of my vote. You can be very proud of Joe Kent. This is a true American hero, and you'll be so proud that he represents you. So get out there and vote for Joe and Donald. Thank you all. There are thousands of people in the line. Thank you very much. And Joe, you take it back, and congratulations on everything, Joe.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. President. I really appreciate it. And thank all of you out there who joined us in Washington 3. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody who joined us here in the district and throughout the country. I mean, just to reiterate what President Trump said, if we don't get this spending under control, if we don't get the inflation under control, life is simply going to be incredibly difficult for this future generation to live. People are having a hard time right now, putting gas in the gas tank, putting groceries on the table. The inflation is just really hurting working families. And then the border crisis. I mean, here in Washington State, which is nowhere near the Mexican border, we've just seen a massive uptick in fentanyl that's come from the wide open southern border. It's killing people in the district, just like it is throughout the entire country. So in order to support President Trump, secure the border, get the inflation under control, and then, like he said, really end this meltdown and this potential march towards World War III that we're having right now on multiple fronts, we've got to take back the House of Representatives and have a strong majority, a real definitive majority, and Washington 3 is a key seat we can flip. If you want to help me do that, I need your help. Please go to joekentforcongress.com. Anything that you can donate is going to help us get more ads on the air. Marie Perez, my opponent, she can't defend her record, but what the Democrats are doing is they're dumping millions of dollars, close to $10 million right now against us. We're being outspent by about 4-1. We can very much win this race. Trump's won this district twice, but I need your help. So please go to joekentforcongress.com. Anything you can donate is going to help us flip this seat here in a week so that we can support President Trump. Thank you all so much. Please stay on the line so you can help out with the survey questions. But with that, I'll turn it back over to our host, and thank you guys so much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate your message and your time being with us tonight. And we thank President Trump for a wonderful message and for his support for Joe Kent tonight. So now it's time for our poll question. We would love to hear from you, our listeners. So you can use your phone's keypad to answer our first poll question. The first poll question is, can President Trump count on your vote for Joe Kent for Congress? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, press 3 if you're undecided. We look forward to hearing from you, so I'll repeat the first poll question for you. Can President Trump count on your vote for Joe Kent for Congress? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, and press 3 if you're undecided. Thanks so much. I can see the answers are coming in real fast for that poll question, so we will keep it open for just a few more seconds, and you can continue to get your answers in. So our next question is about early voting. Joe Kent and President Trump expressed how important it is to vote early and to vote, period. So this question is leading into that. Do you plan to vote early? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, and press 3 if you're undecided. Again, the second poll question for you is, do you plan to vote early? Press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, and press 3 if you're undecided. Thanks so much for answering that poll question, and thank you for participating with us and staying on the line. We invite you to check out Joe's website. It is joekentforcongress.com. Again, Joe's website is joekentforcongress.com. Joe Kent is focused on restoring common sense, and Joe is determined, and he's devoted to Washington, and Joe Kent is Trump endorsed. So return your ballot and vote for Joe Kent and Donald J. Trump. Thank you for being with us, and have a nice evening. This call was paid for by Joe Kent for Congress, 503-893-8212. This will conclude our telerally tonight. Have a great evening. Goodbye, Washington.